Today, we're going to look at the fascinating sonic boom and its unique relation to hyperbolas in Sonic Booms and Hyperbolas, the sensational connections. A sonic boom is formed when an object goes faster than the speed of sound, which is usually 700 miles per hour. When an object travels faster than the speed of sound, the sound waves it produces can't propagate ahead of the object fast enough, and thus create a wake, which is the sonic boom. This is similar to a speedboat creating a wake on water. Sonic booms have been known to cause structural damage to buildings, mostly in the shattering of windows and other glass objects. Sonic booms are commonly associated with planes and the like. However, there are other causes of sonic booms outside that field group. The crack of a whip is, in actuality, a small sonic boom, created by the end of a whip. Pistol shrimp can also create small sonic booms with its claw to stun its prey.
The pilot who first broke the sound barrier was Captain Charles E. Yeager of the U.S. Air Force. He flew the Bell XS-1, which was later renamed X-1. Its design was modeled after a .50 caliber machine gun bullet. X-1 has 4 rocket engines and was built to absorb 18 times the force of gravity. Unlike usual planes, X-1 didn't take off on the ground, but instead was dropped from the belly of a B-29 Superfortress. Yeager reached Mach 1 on October 14, 1947, with X-1 at Monroe Field in the middle of a Californian desert, which is now known as Edwards Air Force Base. The key to finally reaching Mach 1 was developing ways of minimizing the increase in wave drag at transonic speeds, developing engines with enough power, and understanding the effect of shock waves on wings and control surfaces.
Captain Charles E. Yeager, who people called Chuck Yeager, was born in West Virginia on February 13, 1923. He enlisted as a private in the U.S. Army Air Corps at age 18 and served in World War II. 2 nights before the historic flight, Chuck Yeager was horseback riding when he was thrown from his horse, causing him to break 2 of his ribs. He didn't report his injury to Army doctors because if they knew, they would have given the flight to another pilot. Yeager completed the flight in his injured condition.
When a plane forms a sonic boom, the sound waves emitted by the plane are funneled backwards into a cone-like shape that trails behind the plane. This is because the plane is traveling faster than the speed of sound, and the sound waves emitted by the plane can't propagate ahead of the plane fast enough, and thus forms a wave behind the plane, which is the sonic boom. If you've studied hyperbolas before, you'll know that it is a conic section, and like all conics, is formed from a cone. In particular, a hyperbola is created when you take the cross-section of a double-ended cone.
When the cone formed by the plane intersects the ground, it forms a hyperbola because the cutoff of the cone by the ground is similar to taking a cross-section of the cone.
Of course, the shape formed is very similar to a parabola. However, there is one key difference that makes it half of a hyperbola instead of a parabola, and that is the distance from the plane.
The formula for a hyperbola is x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. The plane serves as the center represented by the points h and k of the hyperbola. The point where the sonic boom intersects the ground is a distance away. The other values can be derived from the graph or formula or assigned a logical value based on the given data. The plane serves as the center, represented by the points h and k of the hyperbola. The point where the sonic boom intersects the ground is a distance away. The other values can be derived from the graph. The branches of a hyperbola travel along the asymptotes, which can be found with the a, b, k, and h values. If one finds the slope of the asymptotes based on the path of the branches of the hyperbola, in using the known a, k, and h values, one can find the b value. One can then use the formula c squared equals a squared plus b squared to find the c value. With all these values known, one can complete the graph and the formula.
The hyperbolic shape of the sonic boom is more than just a conic section. The hyperbola on the ground shows the area that will be affected by the sonic boom. If there are any fragile objects like glass in the area, they will likely break or shatter. The farther away from the foci of the hyperbola, the less damage things are likely to sustain. And now you know about the sensational connection between sonic booms and hyperbolas.
Madrid to Calabasas, Tijuana, Mexico, rule the devils in Tokyo. Say they know me though, cause I'll be putting in work. Commit my life to rebirth, well respected cause that's my word. And I'm sure you heard about a new sound gone round. She might have left my hood, but she was born in my town. You didn't know how we was new on the scene. It's alright, it's alright. I know you know, I see you smiling at me. It's alright, it's alright. Here comes a ready or not. Here comes the boys for the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say we rep the south. So what you talking about? I'm not running out my mouth. I know this without a doubt. Cause if you know these streets, then these streets know you. And when it's time to handle business, then we know what to do. Me and my crew, we stay true, old school and new. Many will call, but the chosen the few. We rise to the top. What you want, just in case you forgot. Rush the stage, grab my mic, show me what you got. You didn't know that we